Imagine waking up one morning. You check your investment account like you've done hundreds of times before. Usually, it's just another normal day. Maybe your portfolio gained $20, maybe $50. Nothing life-changing. But today, something feels different. Your investments made more money overnight than you earned by working all week. Not because you got lucky, not because you picked the perfect stock, not because you're a financial genius. It happened because you quietly crossed a number almost nobody talks about, a point where money begins working harder than you do. And once you pass it, everything starts to feel different. The strange part? Most people quit investing just before they ever reach it. Meet Jake. He's 27 years old, lives in Dallas, works a regular 9-to-5 job. Nothing glamorous. Every month, after paying rent, groceries, gas, and student loans, he manages to invest just $300. At first, it feels almost pointless. His friends are buying new trucks, taking expensive vacations, posting pictures from Miami. Jake? He's putting money into an account that barely seems to move. After an entire year, he checks his balance. It's okay. Nothing exciting. 2 years later, still slow. 5 years later, he's honestly wondering if investing was worth it at all. Because here's the truth nobody likes to hear. Compounding is painfully boring, until it isn't. This is where almost everyone gives up. Not because investing doesn't work, but because the human brain is terrible at understanding exponential growth. We expect progress to look like a staircase, step after step, nice and predictable. But compounding doesn't work like stairs. It works like an avalanche. For a long time, almost nothing changes. Then suddenly, everything changes. And if you've never seen that curve before, it feels like magic. But it isn't magic, it's math. Here's what's fascinating. Financial researchers have noticed something surprising. There comes a point where your portfolio starts earning more than your monthly contributions. Then later, it starts earning more than your annual contributions. And eventually, it can earn more in a single year than many people make from their jobs. That's the moment your relationship with money completely changes. But here's the question. Exactly what number do you need to reach before compounding truly catches fire? Because the answer is much smaller than most people think. Let's do the math. Not the complicated Wall Street version. The simple version that can completely change how you see money forever. Let's go back to Jake. For years, he thought his monthly $300 investments weren't making much of a difference. Every deposit felt tiny. Every statement looked disappointing. But what Jake couldn't see was that something invisible was happening beneath the surface. Every dollar he invested wasn't just sitting there. It was quietly hiring more dollars. And those dollars started hiring even more dollars. This is the part people completely misunderstand. Most people think compounding grows a little faster every year. It doesn't. It grows faster because the growth itself starts growing. Think about it this way. Imagine you're pushing a giant boulder uphill. For miles, it barely moves. Every step feels exhausting. You wonder if it's even worth it. Then, you reach the top. Suddenly, the boulder doesn't need you anymore. Gravity takes over. That's exactly what happens with your investments. At first, you are doing all the work. Later, your money starts doing the work. Eventually, your money works harder than you do. Now here's the fascinating part. Let's assume your investments earn an average of 10% per year. That doesn't mean you'll make exactly 10% every year. Some years will be amazing. Others will be terrible. But over long periods, 10% is a reasonable historical assumption for the US stock market. Now, ask yourself this. When will your investments earn the same $300 you're investing every month? The answer is surprisingly simple. If your portfolio is worth around $36,000, a 10% annual return equals roughly $3,600 per year. That's about $300 every month. For the first time, your money is matching your own contribution. You're no longer investing alone. Now your portfolio has become your partner. But that's only the beginning, because something even bigger happens next. Imagine your portfolio grows to around $51,000. Now, a normal 10% year produces about $5,100 in gains. Think about that for a second. Without working extra hours, without asking for a raise, without starting another side hustle, Your investments generated thousands of dollars all by themselves. Every future dollar has an army behind it. This is why wealthy investors seem to get richer so much faster. It's not always because they're smarter. It's because they've already crossed the point where compounding is doing most of the heavy lifting. And here's the heartbreaking reality. Most people quit right before this happens. They invest for 1 year. Nothing exciting. 3 years. Still feels slow. 5 years. They give up. They think investing doesn't work. But imagine planting an apple tree, then cutting it down. 1 week before it finally starts producing fruit. That's exactly what millions of investors do. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, because nobody ever showed them where the tipping point actually is. So if the math is this simple, why do so few people ever reach financial freedom? The answer has almost nothing to do with money, and everything to do with human psychology. In the next part, we'll uncover the invisible enemy that keeps ordinary people poor, even when they know exactly what they should do. If compounding is so powerful, why doesn't everyone become wealthy? After all, the math isn't a secret. Index funds aren't a secret. Saving money isn't a secret. So what's stopping people? The answer isn't intelligence, it's psychology. Because human beings are wired to chase immediate rewards. Think about it. You work all week. You get paid on Friday. Instant reward. You post a photo. People like it within minutes. Instant reward. You order something online, it's on your doorstep tomorrow. Instant reward. But investing? It asks you to wait. Not for days, not for weeks, sometimes for decades. And that's exactly why it's so hard. The biggest enemy of compounding isn't inflation. It isn't market crashes. It isn't even bad investments. It's impatience. Imagine two friends, Jake and Alex. Both are 25 years old. Both invest the same amount every month. For the first 5 years, their results are almost identical. Nothing impressive. Then Alex gets bored. He starts chasing the next big thing. Crypto today, meme stocks tomorrow, hot AI companies next month. Every headline pulls him in a different direction. Jake? He does something incredibly boring. He keeps investing. Month after month, year after year. No excitement, no guessing, no trying to get rich overnight. Fast forward 20 years. Alex has spent thousands of hours chasing opportunities. Jake spent almost no time thinking about investing. Yet Jake ends up with far more wealth. Not because he found a better investment, but because he stayed in the game. As legendary investor Warren Buffett once said, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. One sentence. Decades of wisdom. Now here's something most people never realize. The goal isn't to find the perfect investment. The goal is simply to survive long enough for compounding to take control. Once that happens, time becomes your greatest employee. Every year, your portfolio starts working harder, while you work less for every new dollar earned. Let's go back to that morning. Jake opens his investment app. The numbers look different now. Not because the market suddenly changed, because he changed. Years of consistency have finally reached the tipping point. For the first time, his investments earned more money than he personally added. That's the moment everything clicks. We often think wealth is built through giant breakthroughs, but in reality, it's usually built through thousands of ordinary decisions, repeated over and over again. One deposit, 1 month, 1 year. Until suddenly, those ordinary decisions become extraordinary results. So maybe the question isn't, how can I get rich quickly? Maybe the better question is, can I stay consistent long enough to let compounding do what it was designed to do? Because the most powerful day in investing isn't the day you make your first deposit. It's the day. Your money no longer needs your paycheck to keep growing. And once you reach that point, you're no longer just earning money. Your money has finally learned how to earn money without you. If this video changed the way you think about money, subscribe for more videos that break down the hidden psychology and math behind building real wealth without the hype.